Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we are going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, Episode 21. And this is kind of an episode that was a little bit fillerish, not massively fillerish, but it was kind of like seriousness in the beginning, and then kind of just like funny playthings in the second half of the episode. So, first and foremost, Hanemi is confirmed to be alive. She is definitely beat up really bad. I'll put a picture up on the screen of her. She's literally missing her entire left arm, huge chunk of her body, but this is a special grade cursed spirit. So over time, she will gain more cursed energy and heal. One of the other curse users, the blonde-haired guy with the hand sword, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to put you out of your misery. Don't worry." And he's the type of guy that kind of preys on the weak, because he is probably weak himself, and he sees somebody that is weaker than him. And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to prey on that. I'm going to kill that." That's at least my understanding of this character so far. But then Mahito comes out, and he was like, "No, you cannot do that. We know, Hanemi is one of the strongest ones among us. We need Hanemi to live. Yeah, don't do that. Do not do that." He was like, "If you ever act on your own again, I'm going to kill you." And he was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, blah, 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 blah." Looks so weak and helpless. But Hanemi is alive, Hanemi is fine, and I'm sure we will get to see her in the future as well. We also learn what the plan was behind this entire attack. And the plan was to capture all of Sukuna's fingers that the school had, and they were successful. They also got another cursed object. So apparently there's some curse user there that Tenzin or Tendon. It's like Tenton, Tension. I'm not exactly 100% sure how to pronounce this person's name. We don't physically see this person. They apparently are immortal, but they still age, so they're not physically strong, but they have the ability to produce all of these barriers. But not a problem for these people. I believe that person is still alive, to my knowledge. There's, apparently all of the buildings shift, so you never know which one is which at the Jujutsu High School, the Tokyo one. And there's only one building that stays the same, and that's the vault that contains all of the cursed objects, which they got. So they got 6 of Sukuna's fingers. Itadori has eaten 3 of them, I believe, at this point in time. So there's a total of 9 that we know of, and then there's 11 that are just who knows where. And my guess is they are planning on force-feeding all of these to Itadori in hopes that Sukuna will become strong enough in order to fully take over Itadori whenever he wants, and then they'll win Sukuna over to their side. I think that is their ultimate goal, is to get all of these fingers, because they have a certain amount of fingers of their own. I think they might even have 4 or 5 fingers of their own, if I remember correctly. It was a while back that they got mentioned. I think they have, it's either 4 or 5, so they either have 3 or 4 left. So in total, we're looking at 13 to 14 of Sukuna's fingers out of the 20 that we know of, anyway. So the reason they were able to find them and track them is because one of the fingers that Mahito left when he killed Itadori's friend there, whose name I am forgetting, unfortunately, at this point in time. They left the finger, put a level 1 seal on it so they wouldn't remove it, because what's the point, but they didn't realize it was a tracer seal, so they knew exactly where they were hiding the fingers in order to get all of them, and Mahito succeeded in doing them. There was a few Jujutsu sorcerers that died in the process, a couple of guards of the temple that also died in the process, but none of the actual characters died. It was all just like off-screen characters, so not a massively big deal. Gojo and the other teachers debate whether or not to continue with the school exchange event. And then they're like, yeah, let's just keep doing it. Let's ask the students. It's not really up to us. If, we should let them continue, it should be up to them. So they ask them, and then Todo makes an extremely well-off point where he was like, look, we're all feeling down and out and terrible, and we need to have this event to fight each other, to become stronger, to become more well-rounded individuals, and in order to beat everybody and kind of lift everybody's spirits up again after the loss that we just had. And that's where everybody's just like, yes, 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 I agree, I agree, I agree. And then it's kind of funny because Todo is trying to like be with Itadori the entire time. Itadori and I believe is it Kawasaki? Yeah, Kawasaki, like the freaking motorcycle. Kujisaki are visiting Fujiguro in the hospital, and then Todo just shows up and he was like, they're having this conversation about how Fujigiro's like, I'm gonna beat you, I'm gonna become stronger. You kind of got that Naruto Sasuke vibe going on, where each one wants to become stronger than the other. And Todo's like, as expected of friends of my friend. And then Itadori's just trying to like run away from him, like, get away from me, get away from me. And it was like, you what? We were best friends in middle school. He's like, I didn't even know you in middle school, because Todo has all these crazy scenarios in his mind. And then after all the students finally agree, we get to see one of the fan favorites, which is Kasumi Miwa, the blue-haired girl. Put a picture of her on the screen as well at some point in time. She is like, I want to do better in this event. I was completely useless. I got knocked out. Someone told me to fall asleep, and then that was it. She basically she was sleeping the entire time. Somebody broke her sword. She is not too happy about that. She is one of the low-level sorcerers, but I feel like she's going to use this as an excuse to become more powerful and train even harder in order to show everybody that she is strong, she is powerful, and what she has to bring to the table. Which I'm hoping. I'm hoping, because she does definitely seem to be like a fan favorite character. And everybody seems to like the blue-haired girl, so we'll see what happens with her in the end. But we get to a baseball game that Gojo, I think, kind of fixed, and that's the event. Apparently, normally it is 1-versus-1 battles, but no, Gojo was like, it's so boring, I'm switching this up, so he decided to be a baseball game. And Makenmaru, I thought it was funny. They brought him out, and they basically painted a pitching machine, so it's like they're cheating, but because Panda broke, his kind of his robot body. They were like, oh, well, this is the only version of him we have. He has to pitch, things along those lines. And it was kind of neat because it showed like all these different like little baseball cards, kind of stats type thing as they were doing it. And Todo's picture, which I'm going to throw that picture up as well at some point. And it was like, went to nationals with Itadori in middle school, despite Itadori saying it never happened. And I thought that was pretty funny how they just put that on his card for the episode because of what happened earlier with the whole middle school incident and Todo kind of doing all these crazy images in his mind. And Todo is a crazy character, but I love him at the same time. He's super strong, super weird, and he's just different. I feel like I haven't seen an anime character specifically like him in either a very long time or if ever. Kind of this weird yet super strong, yet super humble, and just like all of these random, delightful characteristics that come together to make like an slightly off-putting person. When he is up to bat, he actually gets hit in the face, and then him and Itadori have this kind of like bro moment, and all of them, everybody, like literally everybody besides Itadori is like, nice pitch, nice pitch, nice pitch, as he's on the face bleeding because he got decked in the face super hard by friggin' Kujisaki, and Itadori's like, wow, everybody really, really hates you. And it's because he's number one. He's on top of all the students. He acts like he's better than everybody else because he is. He doesn't try to be better than everybody else. He just literally is better than everybody else. In moral ways and power ways and thinking ways. And he is, and they hate him. They both. It's probably like a love-hate relationship where Itadori loves him for helping him get stronger, but at the same time, everybody else hates him for the way he acts around with other people and how unpredictable he is. Similar to Gojo, I feel like him and Gojo have a kind of a similar personality. We've never really seen the two of them have a conversation, which I would like to see the two of them have a conversation. But it seems like the kind of same wavelength, where because they're so strong, because they're so powerful, they can just kind of do their own thing, and there's really nothing else anybody can do to stop them, whether their morals are good or bad. So good episode overall. I'm not sure what we're going to expect for the third event, because I think there's going to be a third event. Either that or maybe it's just over, because they said there was always two events. There was the team match, then there were singles. baseball team, Tokyo won. So yeah, Itadori and his squad, everybody won on his side. Other school lost because Itadori hit a big old fat home run that went out of the park. I thought it was kind of funny too, because Momo, she is there's not enough members for their team, I guess. So she was flying around and caught a couple of balls that should have been theoretically home runs, but because they didn't have enough teams, they allowed one outfielder to use their cursed energy, and she can fly on a broom. So that is very convenient for catching balls that nobody would ever be able to catch. Things that you would think be home runs, but then they'd become not home runs. It was just a fun little episode because you got the seriousness of it in the beginning, and then it kind of went to a little bit of a fillery thing, but it was also kind of like a happy-go-lucky thing too. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually in the manga, because you got to throw in those comedic moments, once in a while, and all the seriousness, because that's just how the show is. You throw a little bit of comedy in there along with all the crazy seriousness. I think that's where I'm pretty much going to end it. I'm going to give this one 7 out of 10. Excellent episode overall. Could have been a little bit better. Did feel a little bit fillerish. So that's why I'm giving it the 7 out of 10. Mainly is because the second half of this definitely felt a little bit more like filler, even though it was enjoyable. But it didn't really fully contribute to the storyline, minus the first half of this episode. Next episode, I don't really know what the heck is going to go on. It looks kind of crazy. Trying to remember the title of it, but I can't remember the title of it off the top of my head. But it looks like it's going to get a lot serious again. I mean, I think we only have 3 episodes left, to my knowledge, and we're probably going to get left on a giant cliffhanger. So expect to be slightly disappointed with the finale, because you're going to want more. You're definitely going to want more. It's not going to be a beautiful wrap-up, because I can guarantee you, 100% guarantee you, the last episode we're going to get a preview for a Season 2 6 months down the road or a year down the road. Almost 100% guarantee that. So if you like this video, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you'd like me to do for future anime and cartoon-related content. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.